So I have to film it from my iPad because of technical difficulties. Part 2. Hello, I just recently got my leopard gecko. I got him either 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I've been trying to figure out how to tame my leopard gecko. I usually put my hand during feeding time or when I'm cleaning. Every time I try to tame my gecko, he thinks my hand is like prey because he will slowly try to get close to me and try to bite me. So if you can help me, let me know. Thanks a lot. By Dominic Schmidt. Okay, so basically to help you, Dominic, your gecko, you need to not, when you're feeding your gecko, make sure that the only thing there is the tweezer and what you're feeding your gecko. Don't make it so that your gecko is seeing your hand and the tweezer and the food, because it sort of just becomes confusing. Straight serious. I'm being so serious. It becomes confusing. And so when you do things like that and you try to confuse your gecko, like, can you see what I'm doing? No, because it's confusing. Your gecko's just gonna think your finger. If you move your finger too, like if you go like this, while a worm is near your finger, everything's moving to your gecko, and food moves to insects move, and they move for the gecko, and that's how the gecko knows he knows to eat them aside just the smell. So if your finger moves, they're basically gonna be like, you need to that maybe food in your hand is a worm. So basically what you need to do is follow the taming video that I have posted. You can just put your hand down. Okay, so you can just put your hand down in the tank, in the whatever, like the enclosure. Just put your hand down, lay it flat, and let your gecko explore your hand. But it won't look like a worm. It won't look like a worm. It will look like a hand is supposed to. Your whole hand will be down. And so then your gecko will start crawling on your hand. And after it realizes that your hand does no harm, you can begin to pick it up. And my taming video basically explains what I'm saying. And yeah, thanks for your question. Let's move on to number 8. Question number 8. What camera do you use? By All About Pets 11. I use the Sony Bloggy Touch, which I gladly don't have with me, and I really apologize for that. I totally forgot about this question. I didn't bring the camera in, so kind of ends up like that. But I'll end a picture at the end from Google of the Sony Bloggy Touch. It's a really nice camera from Sony. Sony always makes like the bomb.com, and so yeah, it's a really cool camera. It has a nice finish on the top. So I use that. Yeah, and I also use the camera on my iPad, which I'm using to film right now. Question number 9. How old are you, and how many pets do you have? By Kitty Snow 15. I basically have 4 pets, but sometimes my friends say I have like 1,000,000 pets because of all of Chloe's crickets and mealworms. So there's sometimes I'll have 40 or 30 or 50 of them, and one time I actually had 100, and so my friends say I have a lot of pets just because of that. But yeah, I only have 4 pets. Rocky, Rowan, Chloe, Zoe. And your first question about how old I am, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to answer that question. It's sort of private, but not private. I don't know. It's just, I don't feel comfortable answering that right now, but yeah, maybe one day I will. Bye. Next. Question number 10. How do you keep the humidity high in your leopard gecko's tank? By Zombie Rambo 14. You don't need to keep your leopard gecko's cage humid. Only the humid hide is the only thing that needs to be humid, and the best way to keep that humid is to keep paper towel as the liner and to spray it daily. Thanks for your question. If you want to just spray, oh, look at that chocolate. Doesn't that look really, really good? Look at the flavor of each and every. So Thanksgiving isn't only about turkey, guys. You will see some cute, hopefully unprofessional pets. Question number 11. Why are your intros so amazing? How did you make your intro? By PetLover091. Funny Eric, I have intros that are amazing because this food is so amazing, isn't it? And as the rest of the questions go on, we'll get to look closer at this food. It's macaroni, yams, and stuffing. And the answer to your question doesn't end there. I have a demo to run for you guys on how I make my intros, so let's do that. Let's run the demo. Paper by 53. So when you first launch the app Paper, you'll see all your booklets / journals that you've created and that are there from the beginning. I have a professional pets and the Bird Lovers Collab folders and etc. If you remember the first segment that ever aired on Professional Pets this past summer of 2012, here's what I used to create that part of the intro. So this is where it comes into play. Click the plus button to start a new page in your journal. Now on your blank page, you see the brushes that I have, the ones that are more vivid, shows and have color, shows that I own those brushes, and all the colors, seeing that onto the right, seeing that I have selected that color. There are tons of new colors to use in the Paper app. Look, from purple to red to orange, it's so crazy, colorful. I slid my panel down and began to draw Happy Thanksgiving. Now, to draw the heart that you see in the upper right-hand corner, I had to choose a different marker and draw it with that marker to give it a different effect. Most markers, you can either delete or share your cards, which I usually do. Oh my God, that chocolate cake is just staring at me. I'm about to go eat some. Oh, food. Now for the Martha Stewart app, which I use a lot more even to help me make my and to make the beginning of this video. Let's see how. Begin by selecting New Craft. Then you are greeted by the project size craft picture, or whatever it's called. I usually choose the horizontal card, so it sort of fills up the whole screen. As you can see here, I've begun to make a craft. I have in the left-hand corner, left bottom hand corner, you can see that I've selected the nature theme. And this theme basically is so fun. And this is where I get all the bird pictures for the Bird Lovers Collab photos and everything else. And so this is kind of how my intros are made. If you look at the text button that's highlighted, this is how it opens this big bar where we can change the font, the alignment, and the color of the font, all right here. At the end of it all, you have this picture with stickers, glitter, glue, and snowflakes, and text, and bird wallpaper, and it's just so beautiful. And so this is what you have, and then I basically share it and add it to a picture, and it basically becomes it goes into an iMovie clip, and then it becomes one intro with all these different slides that look beautiful. I hope you all enjoyed the demo, you and Eric. And Eric, thank you for mentioning me in your Q&A day, so I'll mention you. Go subscribe to Pet Lover 091 if you haven't already. And that's the end of the demo. Let's get to the next question. And since I don't remember the number, I'll just say the next question. Question number 12. What PetSmart was this? By Shannon Hanley. I apologize, but I'm not going to give out locations. Question 13. Any pets you had before? If so, what happened to them? Where did you get Rocky and Rowan? Planning on getting a new pet? Could you subscribe back? Is there anything that made you make a YouTube account? What is your favorite animal? Question by These Are My Birds. Well, first off, thank you for all your questions, and I actually did have pets before. I had 2 parakeets named Dana and Danny, and the one was blue, the boy, and the other one was greenish yellowish, and Dana and Danny were like the cutest, most adorable, most fun little pets, but they were extremely loud, and so we wound up giving them away after a few years. And after a few years of giving them away, they are now with 4 other parakeets. So now there's 6 parakeets this lady has, and she's taking care of them, and we knew her, so I think it turned out great. For your next question, I got Rocky from my
just to sort of interrupt a little bit, I had a hermit crab and a lot of fish before, and I think I also had I had a few other pets, but I don't really remember. I know I had a hermit crab, and I know I had fish, and Dana and Danny, yeah. So now we can continue with the video. Thanks for listening.
Who got him from her coworker, who got him from her father, who got it from who knows where at that point.
So that's where Rocky
Rowan
was
I got from this local pet store near me, and it's sort of local, so it's not necessarily bad like Petco or PetSmart, but I mean, it's sort of still bad because I didn't really know about adopting cockatiels, and still even knowing about it, there are not that many places that allow you to adopt cockatiels. I will definitely subscribe back to you. Thank you so much for all your questions. The next question was, how did I make it on YouTube? I mean, not how did I make it, but why did I decide to make a YouTube? For about a year, I wanted to make a YouTube before I made a YouTube, and I mean, I really did enjoy it. I always thought it had to be Professional Pets, and I always checked back, did anyone steal that name before me? And no one did, and I was really happy when I made it. And so as a Thanksgiving gift, if that gives you a clue of how many days we've had on Professional Pets, I made one. And so, yeah, and I really enjoy having a YouTube, and so that's really why I made one. I just begged my mom, and she finally said yes, and so that's kind of what happened. And that's it.
Wait for it.
Well, it's really hard for me to say a favorite animal. I really do love all the animals I have, the types of animals, birds, reptiles. I really do. Out of the animals I have to say the favorite would be birds. I just love how they're more interactive and everything. And even though they can be loud, they're fun pets. But out of all the animals in the world, I must say a stingray. I really do love stingrays. They are my favorite. I hope to own one when I get older, and even though that sounds a little bit bizarre, I know it does. Hopefully maybe a little baby, tiny one that's not going to get too big. I'm not even sure if they have those types of stingrays, but you know, things are always being created in this world, and breeds of animals are being mixed, and so hey, by the time I get 22 or something and have a house or whatever, I'll be able to decide on the perfect stingray for me. And for your question about whether I will be getting another pet soon, I can't answer that, just because I never want to give it away. I always am thinking about well, not all the time, I always try to find a pet that will suit me and that I can handle. And so right now, if I want to get a pet, I have to persuade my mom about it and talk to my mom about it, and so yeah, just to make sure that we can have that type of pet. And yeah, but I love pets and I love new pets, and so maybe in the future we will have a new professional pet. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we're going to make a big finale. Thank you. Question number 14. What inspired you to make YouTube videos? What are some of your pet peeves about owning birds? How long does it take you to film and edit videos? How did you come up with your username? What do you think about McDonald's versus Wendy's? What's your favorite time of the year? How was your Thanksgiving? Did you watch bird videos before you made a YouTube account? Do you like when it rains? If your home was burning down, what 3 things would you take besides your pets? Okay, so I have to film this in less than a minute or else my video is not going to upload. So what inspired me to make YouTube videos? Gecko's Echo. That was a YouTube account. Keely Parrot. Timber66 Productions, which used to be and now is Timber66 Reptiles. There was just a lot of inspirational people, and it was mostly gecko people because I thought my channel would be mainly a gecko channel, but it turned out not to be. Like up there, birds are loud. Birds are, I mean, they're really great pets, but they can be really, really extremely just loud, and they bite when they're not tamed. So yeah, those are my 2 pet peeves. Not really many pet peeves, just that it takes them a while to learn to eat veggies and things like that, which can be a little sad. I'm not sure how well you can see me, but it takes me a while, about like it depends how long the video is. If it's like this video, it took me a while, like actually 2 days now. So it really depends what you're using. If I use iMovie, it takes a bit longer because the iPad's touchscreen, and you know, that just doesn't always work out. And then yeah, the Windows Movie Maker is really simple and doesn't let you do really anything, so it takes me, depending on really the video, could be 30 minutes to an hour. So if you can see that playing right there, I've always been a very professional person, and I thought that would be a cool username. I always wanted Professional Pets to be my username, and I would always check if anyone had ever stolen it. So yeah, and no one did, and so I took it, and I really loved being professional, and just I loved pets, so kind of combined.
Thank you for watching, and I apologize for the inconvenience the camera may have caused. I sort of uploaded it to the wrong place. I actually uploaded it to the Bird Lovers Collab instead of my channel, and so I deleted it after I uploaded it, and that was kind of dumb. So once again, I apologize for the inconvenience, and thank you.